the fellow ministers from Romania and Hungary, the local and the political leaders and the officials. It's a great privilege to be the lead nation for this defense exhibition, especially at this critical time when defense industry cooperation among friends and allies is more important than ever, as you know all. In fact, Turkish and Polish defense industry relation has almost 100 years of history. Turkey purchased the license to build Poland's all-metal fighter aircraft P-24 as part of NATO support. In the context of tailored assurance measures for Turkey, Poland has been contributing with a maritime patrol aircraft since April 2021. We appreciate this valuable contribution. With the same understanding, we deployed 4 F-16 aircraft last year to Poland in order to contribute to Baltic regional security as part of NATO enhanced air policing. As you know, one of the greatest threats that we face as NATO allies is terrorism, which knows no border, nationality, or religion. And as the ally on NATO's southeastern flank, we have been fighting all at the same time against all forms and the manifestations of terrorism, namely Daesh, Al-Qaeda, PKK, PYD, YPG, FETÖ, and the others. As you know, Ukraine and the Russian Federation are our 2 Black Sea neighbors. I would like to underline that we support the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Ukraine, including Crimea. And as we have said from the very beginning, we reject the Russian military intervention. Furthermore, targeting innocent civilians and the civilian infrastructure is, of course, unacceptable. And millions of innocent civilians have been forced to leave their homes and lands, unfortunately. As a country that hosts millions of refugees, Turkey appreciates the efforts of Poland and other allies who have helped in shouldering this burden. Looking ahead, it's important to declare a ceasefire as soon as possible in order to prevent the further loss of life and re-establish peace and stability in the region. As you know, we have been making intense diplomatic efforts since the beginning of the crisis. President Erdogan is in contact with President Zelensky and President Putin. My personnel and I are also in contact with our counterparts in coordination with the other relevant ministries. In our contacts, we repeat our calls to both sides for an urgent ceasefire, de-escalation, humanitarian assistance, and return to diplomacy. We hope that the positive atmosphere created during the negotiations between the 2 sides in Antalya and in Istanbul will gain momentum once again. In July, in coordination with the United Nations, after a long bilateral discussions, we have signed separate agreements with Ukraine and Russian Federation to establish a joint coordination center in Istanbul for safe transportation of grain from Ukraine. Most of you will know that after provision of the humanitarian aid and the local governments becoming functional once again, more than 1.1 million displaced Syrians have returned to their homes in a safe, voluntary, and dignified manner. So far, almost 100 ships and nearly 2.5 million tons of grain have already left Ukrainian ports. We hope that the work through this center will bring down the food prices and prevent a food crisis, as experts stated. We also believe that this could be a good model for cooperation in other fields as well, such as energy. Ultimately, we may live in a peaceful, more stable, and prosperous world. I wish you all the best. Thank you, and dziękuję.
Thank you, sir.